Okay, this is probably the third day, I guess, of practicing graphing slope-intercept. And this one's a little different because the first thing you have to do is draw the line, and then from the line you have to decide which of the equations it actually is. So let's just start with the first one. Let's do number one. I don't think any of them are harder than the others. I'm going to try really hard to draw a straight line here. And I probably didn't do it, but we can try. But you'll have a better chance because you'll have a ruler. The first thing that we have to do is decide where it crosses over on the y-axis. And if I look really hard, it looks like it crosses over at, let's see, -1, -2, -3, -4. So I'm going to say that the y-intercept is -4. The next thing that I have to do is find out the slope. And to do that, I just need two good points. And when I say good points, I mean points on the corner. Like A is a good point. And in fact, this one is a good point. We can use those 2 points. Notice how they pass in a corner. So we're going to go from there. How far do I have to go up? And then how far do I have to go over? To get from one point to the next. It looks like I have to go up 2 and over 3. So that means I have to rise 2 and run 3. So my slope would be 2/3. And it's definitely a positive slope because it goes uphill. So my equation is y equals 2/3 x minus 4. And I see it right here. So let's try another one. Let's do one on the other side. Let's see. It doesn't matter. Well, like SW, that's going to be a tricky one because it just goes straight up and down. It's not going to be in slope-intercept form. What you have to do here is, because it's a vertical line, let's just pick a point. Let's pick this point and let's pick this point. And let's give it numbers, okay? So this point is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Positive 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's 4, 4. The other point is, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4, and then -1. Notice that what is common here is that x is 4. And if we picked another point, let's just keep going down. Well, we can just pick s. It would be positive 4, and then 1, 2, 3, -3. And again, notice that x is always 4. And you would say that. You would, like, based on what I've seen, no matter which point I pick on this line, x is always 4. And because that is true, that is actually the equation. Notice right here, x equals 4. That is the equation of that line. Sometimes the equations are going to be not what you expect, but they make sense if you just think about the points themselves. Alright, let's try UV. So I'm going to try to draw. It's going to be pretty hard. I'm sure I did not do a very good job of that. So let's see if I can do a little bit better. Alright, that's probably as good as it's going to get. So we're just going to go from point U to point V because that's fine. Notice it's going to be a negative slope, so we know that it's going to be negative. So we're looking to see how far we run versus how far we fall. So let's run first. We go 1, 2. So we ran 2, and then we're going to fall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we fell 8. Well, if you take -8 and divide it by 2, you're going to get -4. So the slope is actually -4. Hold on a minute. The next thing that we have to figure out is where does it cross over the y-axis. And I know my line is not very straight, but hopefully yours looks a little better. It looks like it's positive 2. So let's see if we can find an equation that says y equals negative 4x plus 2. So I'm going to scoot over, and sure enough, here it is. So I feel pretty confident that it was positive 2. This one is probably going to, it's not hard, but it's going to take some practice. But we need practice because graphing equations is a really important concept and task in algebra, and you'll need it for what's coming up next and what's coming later in math. So make sure you take your time. It's not a race. Do your best. Ask if you have any questions, and let me know when you finish.